morning. I am Tina Tasaka with the Lotus Broadcast, and this morning we are doing a podcast with a local Arizona guy. His name is Joshua, and he's got a car detailing business. You're going to want to hear about this because he's going to tell you all about car detailing. Good morning, Joshua. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tina.
Oh, it is our pleasure. Yeah, for sure. Car dealing is really not anything I know that much about because, I know a lot of girls like cars, but there's a lot of gals that just don't want to deal with the car. They kind of want to just say, hey, boyfriend, or hey, husband, or hey, son, here's the car. Can you go deal with it for me? Right? So this is going to be really good for a lady to hear all about the car dealing business, car detailing business. But you have a company called A&J Professional Detailing. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So before we get into your company, I wanted to know, um, you know, before you started the company and all that, um, were you in the car business? Tell me about your background. How did you get into cars?
Yeah, so my father, he owned a construction company and he was contracted to build a car dealership. And basically while I was there with him, I would help him out when I was a little younger. And I saw this guy and he was detailing the cars there at the dealership. And so I started asking him questions and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what basically what you just said, like, what got you into the car detailing business? I was like, just asking him a bunch of questions, more like, how much does it pay? How much do you charge for a car? And it seemed like that's where my interest began. Um, Later, as I got older, I would do some research of my own. And I've always liked cars from a young age. My grandpa would always we'd go out and we'd clean his truck, we'd uh, wax it. We'd always have his truck looking very nice. And I think that's something that like really impacted me as a child. That's what really got me into vehicles. Just being with my grandpa, and then there from there I got to an age where my mom was like, you should get a summer job, and I was like, I should. So I decided to look for a job and I ran into this guy who owned the company and I asked him if he could teach me and he said yeah. So I started learning from then on. And yeah.
So your grandpa always had a clean car.
Yeah, he did.
Immaculate. So
Yeah.
he'd get mad. Would he get mad if you'd leave like fast food wrappers and stuff like that in the
Oh yeah,
car?
he's one of those. He always had people in his truck and he would hate it when they would leave stuff behind.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that would drive me bonkers. People leaving stuff, on the floorboard and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or then you find French fries like 6 months later, and you're like, what the heck? What? And you're like, oh yeah, I was driving around my son and his pals, and you're like, you find some calcified French fries under the seat, and you're like, where'd these come from? Like, what in the world? But well, it's a good business to get into. I would think that it's profitable, but we're gonna get into that when we get more into your business side. Okay, so you got some summer jobs. So how long would you say that you've been detailing cars?
I think about now around 4 years.
Okay, that's a good amount of time. That's great. Okay, so real forward. So then you started a company. Is this the first time that you've been involved in a company that you have sweat equity in? Not only sweat equity, you've got equity in. You're an owner, or you're part of the company. Or have you been involved in another company before?
I was involved with another company before running this one, and it was also a car detailing business. I had worked with a friend for a while, and after he decided to go a different way, so I decided to start my own company, and that's what led to the creation of A&J.
And when you were doing it with the friend, did you guys decide to stick with like a certain line of cars? Like, okay, we're gonna just do, sports cars, or we're gonna do, we're gonna do sedans. We're not gonna do SUVs because they take longer. What was the premise, or what did you guys decide to do in terms of the car lines?
So when we were starting out, we had lots of ideas, but I mean, like anything, when you're starting out, you can't be picky. So we would just take whatever we could get. It didn't matter if it was a huge truck or a small sedan. It was whatever you could get, and you just take care of it. Mhm.
Okay, but I am curious. So what would be the difference? Like, let's say I'm just going to throw out like a little four-door Mercedes, like a a 230, a little four-door versus a big Infinity, a SUV, four-door SUV Infinity. I can't remember the models. What would the little the little Mercedes four-door, how long would that take to detail? And then how long, and let's talk about a luxury detail. How long would that take? And then how long would a big four-door Infinity take um, to do a full detail luxury soup to nuts? How long would they take?
Yeah, so for like a Mercedes like that, like a small sedan type car, it probably would take around, if you want like a full like extensive detail, like your car looking brand new, it'd take like 4 hours. If now you want a super premium service, it'd be between 4 and 5 hours. And the process is the same for all of them. The only thing is due to the size. Like if we were to do like an Infinity, like a bigger size car, like an SUV, the process would be the same. The only thing is that time it would take a while longer. It'd be like 5 to 6 hours depending on the condition of the car. But I mean the process is the same. We foam the outside, we do a pre-rinse, and then we obviously wash it down. We do a contact wash, and then we get into the inside. We the first thing I like to do, I know every detailer is different. The first thing I like to do is I go in and um I shoot everything with air to loosen all the debris, and then we get into vacuuming. Vacuuming is the hardest process of the entire detail, and I'm sure many people would agree with that. It's the thing that takes the longest. Whether realistically, a detail depends on how fast you can vacuum. Um, there's there's some cars that are just filled with trash, or other cars that are like extremely clean. It really just depends, but that's always how I want to start off. I want to start off by vacuuming to get all everything that's mainly visible away first, and then we get into a deeper cleaning with steam, and then we get into our conditioning of the seats, wipe down of all the surfaces, and but yeah, it's just basic processes of detailing.
All right. And so let's jump right into what you're currently doing with your company. So obviously, what you just described is a portion of the services that you do. One big question I have for you is, are you guys a mobile detailing service?
Yeah, we are. We are 100% mobile. We come to the customer. We have our own tanks and we have our own electricity. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So do people do they set up appointments in advance with you? Is that what they do?
Yeah, so we get calls or we get messages from people reaching out to us to see if we could detail their vehicles, and I'll ask them, oh, okay, what time and what day do you want to get taken care of? They let me know, and then I send one of my guys out, or I go, and we get the job done.
Oh, that's great. Do you ever try to bundle it with like an event that's going on, whereby you might partner with like an event company and then you've got mobile detailing services going on at the same time? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, we recently had an event. There was this this electrician who was hosting an event for like a couple different companies. There was barbershops going out, there was detailing services, there were car groups there. So we went down and we offered everybody a 50% discount for their first detail with us. And that was also a very nice event because we got to expand and talk to other detailers as well as owners of car groups. And we got to make a lot of connections with business owners around the valley.
Ah, that is great. That is just fantastic. So this company, A&J, um, how long have you guys been in business? And when did you guys start the company? If you could
So,
give us a background on that and how that's working for you right now.
yeah, so I've actually been in the car detailing business for around 2 years. Like, I'm the business side of car detailing. But I think this company is very recent, probably started about 6 months ago. I decided I was like, my friend is leaving. I want to keep going, so I decided to just test out new things here. So I started this company about 6 months ago, yeah. A year
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so I guess I would ask how, how do you keep customers coming back? Like, what's the loyalty factor? What's the sizzle, Because everybody's trying to maintain loyalty. I don't care if you're a bakery, a bank, a
Yeah.
grocery store, everybody's got that loyalty number, follow us, put in your number, do this, do that. What are you doing, or what can you do, or what are you attempting to do and thriving to do, or all of the above to get that customer to come back again?
Yeah, so what we do is we prioritize customer satisfaction and customer care. This company that I was partnered with, I was a managing partner at the company. It was also a detailing company just about 2 years ago that we started. And this guy who was the previous owner of the company before I became managing partner, he had enough money to he got to a point where he decided that customer satisfaction wasn't his top priority. And so what we do differently from other detailing companies is that we prioritize our customers' feelings and opinions on every single one of their services. We offer a customer satisfaction guarantee. We also like to offer our loyal customers a discount on all reoccurring services. Um,
Mm.
whether it's a year later from when they receive the detail or 2 weeks later, we always offer our loyal customers a discount at whatever time they need. Um, Something else we do to show our appreciation for our customers is when we know something's wrong with their car, we try to go down there and help them fix something, or if they're having an issue with or if they have an event to go to, like you're saying, like if they have an event to go to, we'll try to go down and get their car ready. We have a contract with this lady. She recently started like a coffee shop, like a mobile coffee shop, like those little trailers, and she had an event to go to. We went down at 5 in the morning because her event was at 8, and we got her car all polished. We got her trailer all polished that she would be ready for the event. So what we do to keep our customers loyal is we make sure they're always happy, and we make sure to keep on giving them deals so that they could continue to book with us.
Yeah, that's some real special sauce, especially, the couple things that jump out at me is, oftentimes you get that coupon or you get that special, but it's only good for 2 weeks. And it's like, well, that just doesn't work. It just doesn't fit in the parameters for me. I mean, I'm in Vegas for a week, and then, my car didn't really need that oil change, and now the coupon expired. Well, now I'm going to go to somebody else.
Right.
It's like, can't you just extend it one more week? Well, sorry, you missed out. It's like, what? It just doesn't fit in those small windows. So good for you for doing that. I mean, it's like if you're going to put a discount out there, put it out there for 6 months, put it out there for a year. So I like that you're doing that. And I love that you helped that lady. That's awesome because her event starts at 8 and she's not going to find anybody else that's going to wake up at the crack of dawn. That's awesome. That's really awesome service. So I'd like to know, you know, just some funny parts that go with the job. I mean, you mentioned earlier when we first started talking that, you get a lot of really filthy cars. Um,
Yeah.
what were two or more of the really, really disgusting things that you have found in cars? Just really, something that you can say on air. I mean, what are some just really,
Yeah.
really funny and disgusting things that you found in cars that you can share with the viewers?
Yeah, we had this one lady call us out and she's like, my car's not that dirty. I just need a quick clean on the interior. No, like, don't need to worry. It'll probably take like 30 minutes. We get there and that was probably one of the longest interiors I've ever had. The car was like completely a mess. The back seats were filled with just old drink spills. The front seat had like a huge stain of I don't know what it was. It was just a huge stain down the entire carpet. All over it was filled with crumbs from food. There was wrappers from like snacks or whatever the lady was having while she was in her car. Old bottles. It was just insane, like insanely dirty. That
She
just
had a midnight party in her car.
yeah, it looked like it. It was really bad. There was this other time too. We went down to this guy, and obviously, like we were having a sale going on, so he booked with us. And we get there, and like everything's going well, and you just get an odor or something. It was really bad, so I had sent a guy down there, and he's like, he's like, there's like a really bad odor. I was like, oh, well, it's like just extract it. Obviously, we would go in with our steamer, and we extract all stains from the seats, everything. And what's coming out is just a bunch of brown the water we had poured to like with the steamer while as we're extracting a bunch of like brown liquid it keeps coming out of the seas and it doesn't stop and stop. And later we found out that they have like a baby and I guess like one of his diapers had ripped or something and it was just embedded into the sea and that's what they were extracting. It was horrible, but I mean, the job got done. The client loved it, and we returned about a month later.
It just makes me think about that Seinfeld episode. I don't know if you've ever seen it, the one where they can't get the smell out of the car. Anyway, so maybe you can give our viewers just a little hack. You mentioned something about her spilling drinks all over the car. Like, how can people get like if they spill Coke? Sticky Coke like on the dash, or if they spill it in the cup holder, what's a quick way that people can get, sticky Coke or something, quickly off? What would be the best way for them to remove that off their off the car dash
Yeah,
and
so depending on where they spill it, like if it's on the dash or in a cup holder, I know a lot of times when something spills in the cup holder, a lot of people just leave it there to like dry. A quick way to fix that is like as soon as it happens, to get a microfiber towel or any towel, you just let it soak up whatever's there, and then you go in after with you know, any car cleaner you find or any, or not even a car cleaner. You could get simple water and just try to make sure to wipe all of the sugary, sticky stuff off of that cup holder. That'd be the easiest way to do it. But if you wanted to like do it the way we do it, it'd be a little more expensive. You buy a steamer and you'd basically fill it up. You'd spray a little. Basically, it's like a shampoo, but for the interior plastics of a car. So it get rid of all the all the sugar, all the stickiness, and all the whatever's in that cup holder, and we'd basically steam it all out after we have applied the shampoo, and then we just wipe everything down with our brushes and our towels.
That's excellent, Joshua, because sometimes, it's just that one spot and people can't necessarily get to, a detailer yet, but so they just need that's always good to have that quick hack. Thank you so much for that. I know our viewers will really appreciate that. Okay, so what is in store for you for the rest of 2025? You've got this business, you're building customers. Are you guys doing any events? You're continuing on with your detailing. Are you doing any events or anything that you'd like the viewers to know about?
Yeah, so right now we're currently having a sale, and this is gonna last till the end of this year, 2025. So what we're doing is we're offering a 50% discount on all first clients, and as well as returning clients, they also would get that offer. So yeah, that's one sale we have going on till the end of 2025. And we're also doing a 20% discount on all add-ons, whether your headlights are foggy or you want a machine wax on the outside. So we're doing a 20% discount on all add-ons, as well as that 50% discount on all our services.
That is excellent. So how can the viewers reach you? What is the best way to reach you, and how can they book a service with you?
Yeah, so the best way to reach us is at my phone number, which is 602-706-1420. Or they could follow us on Instagram at AJ Prof Detailing, and they could uh, send us a message and let us know what kind of vehicle they have, and we'll get back to them as soon as possible.
Great. And we will also put that up here on this podcast so the viewers can find you. And this is a little bit of a crazy question. And will you also detail a boat if they have a big truck and they're pulling any kind of recreational toys as well?
Yeah, we do
Okay.
trailers, RVs, boats, and pretty much anything that a customer has. We do quads, we do razors, Can-Ams, where
And
where
would
we take care of every vehicle.
and those would fall under like a special quote?
Yeah, so those would
Okay.
also be under special code. So the way it works is for like a trailer or like an RV, we go based off of the size of the RV, and for a boat, the same thing, the size of the boat. Um, so yeah, it really just depends on the vehicle and what type of, the size. But yeah, so we do all vehicles, and that includes trailers, boats, and quads or whatever you could think of.
Okay. And one funny question. Who details the Waymos?
That's a great question. I don't know. That's a great question. I know Waymos do get cleaned pretty often. I've
They go
heard.
to a big lot. I think they go to a main, oh, what would you call it? They go to a main hub in downtown Phoenix, and I think that's where the gas is. And then they go through, like a car
Yeah,
rental, the car
yeah,
rentals, they all go through a car wash and they go through they get gas and everything. But since there's no driver to really see what's going on in the back seat to see if anybody's spilling or leaving stuff and so on and so forth. I mean, there's no driver to know
yeah.
what's going on. They have to do some kind of inspection, they have to do some kind of audit on the vehicle every time a passenger leaves, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, I would imagine too. I mean, we have a lot of reoccurring Uber drivers that come to us, or Lyft drivers, and a lot of them they don't even know what their passengers are leaving. A lot of times we service some of those drivers, and at the end they're like, "Whoa, I didn't even know that was back there. I didn't even know that stain was there." Like there's so I'm sure somebody is taking care of those Waymos very well. But yeah, there's a lot of things that people leave behind on those like driving services or those. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a story the other night. There was a man that worked at a Ford plant, and he worked on the assembly line for Ford, and he worked where they actually put the wheels they put the wheels inside the wheel hub. I'm going to just call it a hub. I'm a girl. I don't know about, you know, engines and all that stuff. Anyway, during that process, he lost his wallet, and the wallet actually, just got up under that wheel hub and was there for about 11 years. So somebody bought the car, and then they went to go do some maintenance on that Ford 11 years later, and that wallet had been stuck up there, uh and over time, heat and all that, made the wallet stick up there. And he went up there and he's like, I'll be damned, there's a wallet up here. And he pulled the wallet out, looked through it, went to go find the guy, found the guy on Facebook and said, hey, I found your wallet. Do you work for Ford? He goes, I don't work there anymore, but he goes, I found your wallet. So, there's crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah, there definitely is. We found we're detailing out in Scottsdale the other day, and while we were detailing, we found this guy. He had a credit card under like under a seat kind of, but like deeper under the rug. So we literally pulled it out with our vacuum and we check, and there's a credit card there. I call the customer out. I'm like, oh, we found a credit card. He's like, I lost it 2 years ago. I had to report it stolen, and they had sent me a new one. And what happened was he just lost it under like the seats and everything.
That's great. Well, fortunately, he didn't have any charges go against it, but that is so great. That's really nice to do that for a customer. And well, with that, I know we've run out of time here. And Joshua, this has just been so great to find out about your business and how you do car detailing and the loyalty. And everyone, you've heard Joshua. He's offering 50% off of car detailing for current customers, for new customers. And everybody needs their car detailed. I need my car detailed. My car is very dirty right now because I'm hauling around equipment all the time doing media. This is a great deal, everyone. I would reach out to Joshua and have a new, beautiful, detailed car for the fall. Doesn't everybody want that? So we will put up the information here. And, Joshua, this is just great. I wish you the best of luck with your business.
Thank you.
And this is super, super. We'd love to see you out at an event. And we will put up the information. And we just wish you the very best.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it.
Certainly, certainly. So with that, we will close this out for the Lotus broadcast, and we thank Joshua very much for coming on and talking about his car detailing business. And thank you very much, Joshua. I'm Tina Tasaka, and this is the Lotus broadcast.